it's not a penalty, not being given.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
My first reaction.
For the second week in a row, Michael Stewart has had a meltdown regarding his beloved Hibs as they've crumbled to a defeat here. Hibs are falling apart again. They've got beat by Craig Lefine's St Johnstone 2-1 at Easter Road. It's an absolute disaster for their top six hopes. Or is it? Because we'll have to look at Dundee's result as well, which was a lot of hype around. It was a question of what game are you going to watch today at the 3 o'clock kickoffs. Well, it turned out it was Hibs TV, folks, because Dundee TV must have been waterlogged because of that pitch disaster. Welcome back to Fog Football. We're here to review this match. We'll talk about the league table and what it means for Hibs, this result after the game. But let's talk about the penalty incident, shall we? Because that's what pretty much highlighted at the start of this game, where you've got Mitov coming out and absolutely wiping out the big man. Can't actually remember his name. Let me. The guy in the middle of the park. What do you call him? Marquinhos, the guy that's on loan for Bournemouth, I believe. And the goalie does wipe him out after he wins the header. And see this one though, like, I think this is more of a penalty than the Suter one. So I kind of see Michael Stewart's point, but it would have been soft to give this, I do think. But I think if you give the Suter one, you have to give this one. But that's what the funny thing is. You've got Michael Stewart, who was crying last week that Rangers got a penalty for the Suter one, and now this week he's crying about the fact that Hibs didn't get anything here. Now, I think a few penalty decisions definitely went against Hibs here. And you know what? I actually want the Hibs to win. It's better for Rangers if Hibs get top six than Dundee. It would equal less away games, thankfully, for a Rangers perspective. Dundee, who were 2-0 up, blown a 2-0 lead and get beat 3-2 at Dens Park. Before, of course, the visit of Rangers to Dens Park. But we go into the second half. Will Fish gets took off. Mariah Welsh gets brought on for Hibs. And I like the fact that Tom English, though, during the whole sports sound coverage, was getting stuck into Michael Stewart. Because he does, like, I listened to a decent bit of it earlier on. It's the Michael Stewart show. He cries about every decision. And I'm convinced the main reason why he was crying last week is because it was Rangers, right? The guy just hates Rangers, right? But there's probably one thing and one person he hates more than Rangers, and that's Craig Lefine. Now imagine a Craig Lefine managing Rangers combination and Michael Stewart having to talk about it. He would probably blow up with rage. But just listening to the guy, it's pathetic. Like grabbing his hair, his hands, his head is in his hands, crying about the decision that was made. Seriously, do not understand this for Michael Stewart. I do think it's some of the most pathetic stuff I was going to say ever seen. I think in the terms of punditry this season, I will go as far as saying that. Like, and then he gets called out on it. He's like, he's stuttering. He doesn't know what to say. But Sidibe knew what to say. He's been in pretty good form for St Johnstone. It makes it 1-0. And the thing that makes it sick for me, I actually had Hibs in my bet. Hibs go 1-0 down. I'm a bit clinically depressed. But then Cadden, he manages to bring it back. Hibs make it 1-1. We've got a few yellow cards that happen next with the likes of McGowan and Abita. Both of them will miss the next match. So will Kukureyev, of course, the Ukrainian. So a lot of players missing the next match here from a Hibs perspective. St Johnstone, both teams needed the win, but we rightfully, in my opinion, wrote them off. I just did not see St Johnstone were going to get anything for this game. And I thought Hibs would win it easily. And I think, in my opinion, this is the problem with Hibs and Nick Montgomery. They are too inconsistent. Hibs, Hearts win this game easy, right? And I think to be consistently in the top positions, fighting for Europe in this league, you need to be beating St Johnstone at home. And I think Kelly and St Mirren would beat them. I do think that. But Mazzani Melidas, when his shot was saved, that's when Chris Cadden poked it in to the back of the net. We then have a corner from St Johnstone, and then Tony Gallagher comes up with a volleyed effort into the back of the net. But that is where the game ended. Hibs, it's slim hopes. Dundee do have 2 games in hand, of course. 1 game is against Rangers. I'm a bit more confident that game's going to go ahead midweek because the fact that the Dundee game went ahead. But I think it's karma, the fact that Motherwell came back for 2-0 down and beat them. I didn't watch the Dundee Motherwell game, even though I wanted to. Let's bear that in mind. Is the wind is quite extreme. I wanted Motherwell to win. Dundee though, game went ahead. Gives me hope for Wednesday that will go ahead, but Dundee's a point clear of Hibs. Realistically, Rangers are going to beat Dundee. All right, let's just put that out there. Rangers will get the job done against Dundee, which would leave Dundee and Hibs both sitting on 39 points for Dundee, 38 points for Hibs. Goal difference is in Hibs' favour, so a draw for Hibs and a defeat for Dundee would be the difference maker. Of course, Dundee do play Aberdeen, who drew 0-0 with Livingston. And if you watched the SPFL preview show, I guaranteed you that Livingston Aberdeen would be a draw. I can't remember if I went 0-0 or 1-1, but I said it would be a draw. Pretty sure I did. I said pretty sure I did. I think I actually might have went with 1-0 Aberdeen. But then I talked about how boring the first game this season was, the opening game for Aberdeen and Livy was, and how that was a draw and that it could replicate that. As for St Johnstone though, crucial win for them, moves them 4 points above Ross County. Aberdeen sit 3 points above St Johnstone. So yeah, Livingston edge a point closer to Ross County. At least they actually gain points on Ross County though. I mean, we will talk about it more in the SPFL review show, but they're 3 victories behind them. You know, that's much better than 4 results behind Ross County. But at home against Aberdeen, a team that's down there, a team that's been shite, Livy need it to win. I think it keeps them half alive, but what it means is Livy have got 6 games left and they need to win half of them just to get on level points with Ross County. Not looking good for them. As for Hibs, it'll be close. The top 6 battle will be close, but it almost doesn't matter. Honestly, like, because no matter who gets in there between Dundee or Hibs, I just don't see them troubling St Mirren or Kelly. I don't see how it's going to change that. Then you've just got Motherwell, who kind of sit in no man's land, sitting in 8th, not really doing much. Well, I say not really doing much, to be fair. Motherwell need it to win, and they needed Dundee and Hibs to both slip up, and obviously Dundee played Motherwell, so if Motherwell won, Dundee would slip up, but Motherwell got an outside chance here of top 6, got better goal difference than both of them, so we'll see how it goes, guys. But the top 6, the relegation fight will go down to the wire, and so's the title fight. The only position in this league table that's really secure is 12th and 3rd. But saying that, Livingston's definitely got more hope of doing something than I think anyone's got of catching Hearts. But anyway, that's going to do it for this match. A few Hibs are falling apart yet again. Michael Stewart's crying yet again. And it's a disaster in the capital. Really, really poor.